Going to talk to us today about joy and happiness. What a wonderful topic, Eugene.
Oh, I
Take it
think so too,
away.
Libby. Good morning, everyone. And
Good
it is with
morning.
joyous pleasure that I am here in Reverend Jackie's basement in her downstairs office. It's interesting in that so I arrived to the elementary school. It wasn't clear to me, it wasn't made clear that we weren't meeting in person, and which is okay. Because on the way over, I write my talks the night before or the morning of or the week before, but on the way to wherever I'm going to speak, I'm going through whatever is coming through. And what came through for me on this beautiful topic, the art of happiness stems from the joy of being, because I am the joy of God. That's been an affirmation of mine for 20 plus years. But what came to me is these two things, right? These two topics: choice and acceptance. Choice and acceptance. And in the mornings, I do my meditation and I use Insight Timer just because. And it just so happens that today's quote by Thich Nhat Hanh is: the present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it. I'm like, that's so apropos, right? The present moment, this moment right here, is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it. So as I was driving to have service with you guys today, I get through. I'm like, the first thing I saw was, or didn't see, was there's no signage. I'm pulling on the door, and I'm like, okay, well, all right. So at first, my first impression or my first reaction, it was a reaction. I was like, what happened? And then I went on the email and I just started going through. I'm like, oh, join us on Zoom. I'm like, oh, I get onto the Zoom, and that particular link didn't work. So I'm sitting in the parking lot, and then Reverend Jackie calls. I'm so glad that I didn't leave because I almost left, and I'm so glad that I didn't leave. And so all of that brings me to this moment here: choice and acceptance, which is having to do with the art of happiness, which stems from the joy of being. So when I speak about choice, and you've heard me talk about choice before as being one of the greatest gifts that we have been endowed with. Choice, we've been endowed with a bunch of great gifts. Choice is one of the for me, one of the most powerful gifts that we have been given, because we have the ability to choose not only what we wear and where to go and what to eat and what to drink and all of that, but we also have the choice of what to think, right? And we know that thinking creates our reality. What we think about, we bring about. Ernest Holmes talks about change your thinking, change your life. Scripture says it is done. No. As a man thinketh in his mind, in his heart. Right? As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So it's all about this thought, right? So we have the choice to think what it is that we want to think. And because we are surrounded by a beautiful divine intelligence, it's been called by so many names. It's known as gods, known as Allah and Krishna and Buddha. Well, maybe not Buddha. Krishna, old Dumar is called so many things, and it really doesn't have a name. But that's because we're human beings. I love that we get to name whatever we think and feel that it is. But because we're surrounded by this energy that always says yes, well, then let me choose what I want to have reflected back to me. Let us be mindful of what it is that we want to experience. Let me choose how I want to live my life. Let me choose peace. Let me choose grace. Let me choose joy. Now, because I have had that affirmation since wow, since 1999. I am the joy of God. And that's been my affirmation every day, of course, with a bunch of others. But that's my main one. I am the joy of God because I am. Well, because of that, and I choose to step and then to live from that. The situation that happened this morning, I drive all the way out here from Columbia, Maryland. I go pull on the doors. There's no one there. I get a call. Now I'm here. But because I choose to be in joy about it, man, it's nothing but another experience in life, right? And as I like to say, every experience is an opportunity for us to love when we choose to. When we choose to. Every experience is an opportunity to grow when we choose to. Now, I can just as easily chosen, how can I put that? I could have easily chosen to get upset about it. I'm not going, this is stupid. Now, I got to tell you, those little thoughts flowed through real fast until I decided, no, man, that's chill out, just relax, just wait. So, choice, choice. So be aware of what you choose. Be aware of what you choose. Time out for a moment. Jackie, there are two people entering the waiting room. Should I go ahead and let them in?
No, it's watching it.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you. So choose what it is that you want to experience. And then accept what you're choosing. Uh-oh, that's a brilliant one, right? Accept the joy that you're choosing. Accept the good that you are calling forth. I have worked with clients in the past, and there was one situation in particular where this particular client was saying, Eugene, we've been working on this particular situation for a long time. I've been meeting you for a while on this. We've been doing our prayer work, we've been doing our affirmations, we've been visioning on it, and it's just not happening in my life. I don't understand what's going on. And it came to me to ask this question: are you willing to accept the good you're asking for? Are you willing to accept it? There was a pause, and then there were tears. Because that individual came to realize that they weren't willing to accept their good. And now that opened up a whole new opportunity to look at, the worthiness and all of that. But it was acceptance. So again, I'm asking, now let me ask you, are you willing to accept what you're choosing? I choose peace. Am I willing to accept that? Okay, what does that mean, Eugene? What that means is when I ask myself, am I willing to accept peace? That means that I am to be peace. I am to be, as Gandhi would say, be the change you want to see, right? Okay, so let's take out the word change. Be the peace you want to experience. Be the joy you want to experience. Be the love you want to share. When we start talking about, people wanting to be in relationships, and I want a relationship that is fulfilling and that brings me joy. Okay, great. Be that relationship for yourself. See, then that brings me to the law of attraction versus the law of reflection. Now, for years we have been hearing about the law of attraction, and all of that is good. I am not downplaying that whatsoever. Please understand that, because that's a good place to start. But check this out. Law of attraction. I am attracting something to me that's outside of me. Uh-oh, right? I am attracting prosperity, and the prosperity, as it is said, I'm attracting it to me, giving me the feeling that it's outside of me, but it's not, right? So this is why we're talking and looking at the law of reflection. Now, this is nothing new, right? You plant a seed into the soil, you're going to get what you planted. You plant a thought into the infinite intelligent mind of spirit, we're going to get that back, right? So it's really a law of reflection. So now the question becomes, what are we putting out there, knowing that it's going to come back? What are you putting out there? I love this country. A little concerned about the government, but I love the country. But I love the government in that it's allowing me to raise my vibration. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff going on that doesn't look good, doesn't feel good. If I allow it, if I allow myself to go down that particular path, remember, we have a choice. We have a choice. So I'm choosing, and I hope that those of us who are watching this right now, I hope that you choose with me, that we raise our vibration to even to know that even right where all of that activity is going on, even right there, God is. Even right there, love is. Even right there, peace is. See, the art of happiness stems from the joy of being. The art of happiness. We are not happy. Let me put it this way. There isn't anything out there that makes us happy. There isn't anything that makes me happy. That car doesn't make me happy. The house doesn't make me happy, right? And if it does, well, then I'm giving my power to something else outside of me, wanting to attract that right person, wanting to attract that right job, right? So it's not that once I get that right person, that right job, then I'll be happy. Okay, well, then what happens when I lose that job? What happens when that relationship goes south? Now I'm not happy. See, when we come to it from that point of view, we are giving our power away. The art of happiness, and it is an art, and it stems from the joy of being. The joy of being, which means joy who you are being. Joy and enjoy who you are here to be. Be in joy about everything about yourself. See, when I talk about, it stems from the joy of being, there isn't anything outside of me or outside of you that brings you joy. Here's the thing about it. Joy is your natural state of being. Going back to what Thich Nhat Hanh said, the present moment is filled with joy and happiness if you are attentive to it, which means that all you need to do is to look around. And when we are attentive to it, then we will see it. Now, what this brings up, something else this brings up, is to look for the joy in the situation. Okay, you can't look for the joy in the situation, look for the good in the situation. When we get caught up in the, God, I don't like what's going on here. God, this is terrible. This is happening, that's happening. This is going on, that's going on. And this is just not acceptable. Catch that one. When I say this is unacceptable, now I am not allowing my natural joy of being out. I have suppressed it. I have even locked it away because I'm determined to be upset about what's going on because this is unacceptable. Remember, I was talking about choice and acceptance. The art of being comes from being in a place where we can accept what's going on. Accepting what's going on does not mean that we have to like it. Accepting what's going on doesn't say that we agree with it. Not at all. It's just basically and simply says, okay, I identify that this is what's going on. Okay, got it. To make it simple, I love this saying. We've heard it time and time again. There's no sense in crying about spilled milk. Why? Because the milk is spilled. Me crying about it isn't going to keep it from spilling. It's already done. So what I do is I accept that the milk is spilled and I do whatever I can to clean it up. Same principle. There's no sense in crying over what's going on. Now, I can get upset about it for a moment because sometimes stuff just pisses us off, right? And then we raise our vibration because I love that. Being going through the experience of what I call pissosity, the state of being pissed off, allowing myself to go through that allows me to see and to feel, do I want to stay here at this feeling, or do I want to raise my vibration? And the way for me to raise my vibration is to accept what's going on and then step into the joy, and from the joy of being, to find out what is mine to do. Beautiful questions, right? What is mine to do? And for me, that's the second question. For me, my first question is, who am I to be in this situation? Maybe the situation is calling you to be compassionate. Maybe the situation is calling for you to be loving. Maybe the situation is calling you to be silent. And just hold that space. Once we become clear on who we are to be, now that informs what is ours to do. Remember that we are human beings and not human doings. We are human beings first. So that art of happiness stemming from the joy of being. So the question I have, and I've had a few of them for you today, right? And this one is, who do you choose to be in this moment? Who do you choose to be? Choice is a wonderful thing. Choose something higher, because we always have a choice. Oh, no, we don't. No, we don't. We don't always have a choice. And what I mean by that is, yes, we always have a choice, except for in this one aspect. We don't have a choice, my brothers and sisters, on whether or not to create. We have no choice in that. We are always creating, either consciously or unconsciously. We are always creating, because that's who we are. Being created in the spiritual image and likeness and in the nature of the divine itself, we cannot help but to create. What does the creator do? It creates. And because we are one with that energy, that's what we do, is we create. We have no choice in that. Now, with that being said, be aware of what you want to create. Be aware of what it is, and how you want to show up as joy. So, in closing, I'm asking each and every one of us who are here live right now, and those who are checking this out a little bit later, I'm going to ask for you to join me in stepping into your joy-filled self. Joyful and joy-filled self, and live from that vibration. See, because when we talk about the law of reflection, when we give joy, guess what? Joy is going to be reflected back to you. When you give love, guess what? Love is going to be reflected back to you. We're not attracting anything. We are reflecting what we have given out. How many times have you stepped into a situation and you were really upset about what was going on, and you're just upset and you're bad, and you find that that situation doesn't get better because what's coming back to you is the anger and all of that. And sometimes that's good because it helps to clear what's going on, and we can get to the crux of what's going on, so that now we can bring love into the situation so that we may now heal what's going on. The art of happiness stems from the joy of being. Be the joy. Going back to Gandhi, be the change you want to see. Okay, so what do you want to change? Then be that. Be the peace you want to see. Be the love you want to see. Be the creativity you want to see. Be the abundance you want to see. Be the joy you want to be. Be the joy. Be the joy. Be the joy. For this, I give great thanks. Thank you so very much for allowing me to share joy with you. Even with the situation of driving over here, and now I get to sit with, Miss Reverend Jackie, and we'll do some prayer work so that whatever seems to be going on with the body temple is done. And I'm so grateful that I was able to be here Zooming with all of you beautiful, beautiful people. Remember, joy doesn't come from outside of you. There's nothing that brings you joy. You bring joy to everything. Be the joy. Peace and blessings.